coffee balls. Okay. I'm continuing. I'm gonna finish this case tonight. So that I can have the final case be all day Friday or something. I don't know, maybe. We'll see. So we're finally going to see the tiger on the stand. I don't know. It depends on what everyone else... Well, actually, you know, hold on a second. It's already 10:15. I have no idea how much of the case is left. Probably an hour left. I don't want to keep people up too late if we want to do the zombie killing and stuff. Playing 7 days after stream. Hold on a second. What am I doing? What am I doing? Where is... Oh, here it is. Oh. What? That's what my wife just sent me. It's a big chungus Buddha statue. What? Nursery? Creeper nursery? Oh, what? Oh my god. Wow, anyway, continue with the case. Sorry. He's got this case one now, Nick. I wish I could agree. Huh? When I cross-examined Mr. Armstrong just now, he said he was doing what the tiger told him to do. But Godo picked up on it, remember? He pointed out that without proof, we still don't know if what he testified is the truth. You mean, you think Mr. Armstrong was lying? I don't know. But if that's the line the prosecution takes, we could be in trouble. I get the feeling that we don't have the case-making evidence we're going to need. Hey, pal! Detective Gumshoe! What are you so jumpy about, Detective? Your hair's standing on end! That's the part on the count of black, little Miss Top Knot. It's not a top knot! Never mind about that hair. Never mind about the hair. Just calm down, alright? I can't stand still, but I don't have a job to do. I kind of get wound up. Ah! No kidding. You got something that you need me to do, pal. Anything. Well, Oh, you out of here, honey nuts? Okay. And have a good night, Zerk. Check for you think he was a Buddha? Oh my god, Tom. I'm gonna take a jog back down to the precinct. I could get some points analyzed for you if you've got an hour. Points analyzed. An hour? Trial can reconvene by then. But Nick, we still don't have a really decisive piece of evidence, right? True. Without some kind of trump card to pull out of the bag, we're really stuck. You said you could get some fingerprint analysis done in an hour? You bet. In that case, would you mind checking the prints on this for me? Ooh. Which do I... Ooh, is it the medicine or the matches? Because why would you have a set of matches? Well, it's got to be the medicine because they're... Yeah. If you're going back to the station anyway, could you find out whose prints are on this? Oh, hey. That's the small bottle I gave back to you this morning, right? Yeah. I think it's time we solve this last mystery of who the prints on it belong to. Sure thing, pal. Actually, that's been gnawing at me, too. And Detective Gumshoe. Okay, I'll get this off to the lab right away. Just make sure you don't lose the case before I get back. It's pretty much the final showdown, I guess. It's time to separate the phonies from the real guys. Court will now reconvene. Mr. Godo, did you find this Furio Tigre? I even tamed him for you. It was a 3-cup job, no problem. Tamed him? The guy's name may be Furio Tigre, but come on. He's pretty lively. Be careful. He still bites. Very well. Please show Mr. Tigre to the stand. Witness? Please state your name and occupation for the... Ah! Don't hide under the table, Maya. Unless there's room for me down there, too. Would you mind... What you say to me? Nothing. I didn't say nothing. Honest. Who could have guessed the fear would induce a bad Brooklyn accent in the judge? I got business to take care of, you hear me? So who the hell called me into this hole? Was it you, Spiky? No, of course not. It was... the judge? Your Honor? Oh dear, I seem to have dropped my pen. Where on earth is it? Don't mind me, just carry on with the proceedings as normal. That's it. We're doomed. Maybe you didn't hear me. I said, who the hell was it that called me in here? There's no need to shout. We can all hear you. What do you say? There's no point struggling. You're caught in a snare. The relentless snare of the law. No dread out of there. I'm the one that hauled you in. Too cool. Don't get the better of you, Nick. Let's start with the basics. You know about the incident in question, correct? Incident? I don't know nothing about no stinking incident, mass boy. You mean you didn't attend the previous trial of Maggie Bird? Maggie who? I got more important things to do than watch courtroom dramas. Of course. Well, perhaps you could give us your testimony then. Please tell us about what you did on the day of the murder. Phoenix Wright. You was the one who set this up, didn't you? You's gonna regret the day you ruffled the tiger's fur. You hear what I'm saying? Maybe should have brought a diaper with me today. Get a grip, Nick. When the prosecutor defense just start working together at the end of a trial, right? I don't know nothing about no murder. I was tied up with business in December last year. Spent all my time in my office. I got whales lined up to borrow cash from a tender lender every single day. You just want to check my alibi? Just ask Violetta. I found my pen. Very well then, Mr. Ah! What is it? Please, witness, if you could refrain from shouting it out like that. I know the kind of games that guy in the blue plays. That lowlife ain't no lawyer. He just punches away at stupid details till he wins. I feel attacked. But lowlife? Me? Listen up, Smarty. Every time you ask me something that doesn't relate to this case, I'm gonna bill you $500,000, and he's gonna borrow the cash from me. That's one loan contract I refuse to sign. I don't think it'll gonna hurt when you tangle with the tiger. He does, yeah. 500K, wow. I love a good spectator sport. Just a minute. That's really not. This witness is... how can I put it? A hungry tiger roaming the urban jungle. Get on his bad side and he'll bite everyone's heads off. Yours, too. Very well. I have no choice but to impose a penalty system here. You better be listening. I said I got business to take care of. Big business. But I'll split now. I ain't gonna catch my bus. Court won't impose a penalty for any irrelevant pressing of witness testimony. Keep that in mind as you begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. You can do it, Nick. Come out from under there already, would you, Maya? I know exactly what to do. Are you sure about that? We're talking about 1 month ago, you know. You see these teeth? That's how sharp my secretary is. Sharp? Is he talking about Viola Cadaverini? She writes everything in my scheduler. December, mainly in the office. That's what it says, so that's where I was. It seems like a rather sketchy schedule. There he goes again. What if the tiger did all December isn't the issue? What's important is what he was doing on the day of the murder. So, now what? Mr. Tiger, what do yous want? If you wouldn't mind going into a bit more detail.
Objection!
This is a dead end, Wright, and you know it. Remember the rules. No, it's essential that we establish the witness's alibi accurately. I agree. The victim was killed on December 3rd. Were you in the office that day, too?
Maybe you ain't listening. Of course I was. I never set foot outside. I had meetings all day with a bunch of cats wanting to do business with me. I ain't never seen that young kid before.
I believe the witness's last statement was important. Mr. Goto, if you could please... Mr. Tiger. Oh, Tigre. The court asks you to have the last statement to your testimony. I will beat you. Be a man, Your Honor, and ask him yourself. You didn't know Mr. Glen Elk? Really?
I don't mess with the guppies when there are bigger fish to fry. What do you say, boss?
Who? Me?
I was about to hit you with a fat $200,000.
Well, I was thinking about purchasing a nice car from Europe. He's seriously considering this? Wow, the Tiger's a really good salesman, huh? Yeah, if I want to sell this case, I need to copy him. How about you hit him with a fat piece of evidence, boss? I wish it was that easy. God damn it! Well, I'm fucked. I'm jumping again. You should save more! Speaking of, there we go. But how do I... It's like... God, what am I looking at? Oh. It's this, isn't it? Okay, I picked the wrong item. Mr. Tigre, you claim you didn't know Mr. Glen Elk, but it appears that Mr. Elk knew you.
What?
Mr. Elk left this little note on his calendar. Meet with the Tiger. And the date? December 3rd.
December 3rd? That's the day of the murder.
So, Mr. Tiger, I submit that you did indeed know one Mr. Glen Elk. Because on the very day of the incident, you met with him. His suit.
Not bad. He was actually not bad.
Sorry?
I was just messing with yous. See how good you were.
Did you hear that, Nick? He said you're not bad. That's one compliment I can do without. Plus, he's lying through his teeth. Witness, please remember that you're under oath. Lies will not be tolerated.
He's calling me a liar? Is that what you're doing?
Ruh-roh. What? So you're saying that your claim to have never seen that kid before is the truth?
I said I'm dead serious. You'd better believe that's the truth.
Huh. But I say that gives me time to enjoy another cup of pure black magic. That is, while you testify to the court again, Mr. Tigre.
Oh, yes, would you mind indulging the court, witness?
You actually met the victim? That's gotta be a lie right there. I nail this guy. Okay, testimony.
I ain't no liar. I never met Glen Elk. There was some lame guy with that name, though. Wanted to borrow cash from me. I set up a meeting with the guy at my office, tender lender. I went around for him, but he never showed. He ain't never showed. I ain't never been to that Très Bien joint, you see her?
Okay. That's where I show them. See, I keep jumping ahead!
You would arrange to meet with the victim, but he didn't show up.
I've heard it pretty hard to keep appointments when you're dead. It's hard pretty good.
Very well. You may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hey, I got a big deal going down today. I ain't gotta make my bus now. I'm gonna have to take the express train. That bill's going straight to you. Right.
Near fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck it. I'm going for it. Mr. Tigre, Is there something you'd like to tell the court about these matches?
Matches? What are you talking about?
We found them in your office at Tenderlender. They're from that restaurant. If you've really never been to Très Bien before. What was a book of the restaurant's matches doing on your desk?
You've been snooping around in my stuff now too, wise guy? What are you, my ball and chain? Ain't no broad controlling me. Order, order. Well, witness, I think it's time you started telling us the truth, don't you?
It's supposed to go for it here, okay.
Sorry, I'm terribly sorry. Forgive me. I ain't no pussycat. I don't go back on what I said. But okay, I was at the joint that day. What? Well, listen good, all right? I might have been there, but I still never met that kid.
Well. Looks like an order just came in for another testimony. I'm this close to proving it was him. He did meet Glenelg that day, and he did put the poison in his coffee. He must have.
I was supposed to meet with the kid at the restaurant that afternoon. When I opened the door to the joint, I saw one ugly scene. The guy's laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. I figured the place wasn't hot already. It was gonna be, so I split. Heard the cop sirens on my way out, and I went straight back to my office. I see. You didn't actually meet with him in the end, then. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hold it! If I were a hand longer, I'm not even gonna make the normal express. No more stupid questions.
Huh. No problem. Anytime Tripe presses you on something irrelevant, I'll see he pays a penalty.
Mr. Godo, that's my job!
Your job is to slam that little hammer of yours and call a guilty verdict. So do it.
Yes, sir! A special express ain't cheap, right? So you's know since you's... Just so you's know since you's paying.
Oh, man. Doesn't the rule of law mean anything around here? Oh god, I'm gonna fuck up. Hit the kid at the restaurant that afternoon. I opened the door to the joint, I saw one ugly scene. The table stiff as concrete. It's gonna be so I split. Fuck. What evidence do I have about this? Save! I mean, you're not wrong. You mean you saw Glenn Elk's dead body?
I guess I did, but I only saw him from behind. He was wearing some ragged bit of cloth he called a hat.
And what time was this?
I don't know.
Huh?
You know what winds me up more than anything else in the world? Watches. Round watches. I ain't gonna pollute my paws with some ticking henpecker.
Out of interest, Mr. Tigray, what winds you up the second most?
Huh? What do you think? Square watches.
Is this guy for real?
Look, all I need to know is that something bad was going down at that place.
Doing good, Goldblaze. How you doing? How are you? So you didn't actually set foot inside the restaurant then?
The tiger is a busy cat. I didn't hang around for no one. I ain't got time to be caught up in no murder investigation.
So, when exactly did you pick up the matches? There are matches just inside the front door. Our detective friend wound up in trouble with the chef after taking 5 books home. Ha! Poor Gumshoe. Yep. Try to solve the poisoning. Oh god. Let's see, were you worth it? I love this case. Supposed to make a man cry. He's nice.
So straight back to my office.
You went straight back? Did a bout of guilt suddenly hit you for what you did?
What are you trying to say? You trying to tell me you ain't never been guilty of nothing?
We all have our crosses to bear. We all have to swallow the dark secrets we hide. Like this. Coron's not exactly the place to talk about dark secrets, is it?
You don't get Mr. Wright.
Another event. Oh, god damn it. What's the garbage they keep coming up with? Well, Nick, what do you think? He's running out of ways to avoid the truth. I need to press him fast before he has time to think things through. It's a contradiction. What do I... Like about... I don't know what to present. That's why I... None of it makes any sense to me. Oh. He couldn't. Oh! Oh! He couldn't have seen him! Ha! Ha ha! You're something of a loan collecting pro, aren't you, Mr. Tigre?
No one escapes the tiger's clutches.
Well, I'm something of a lie detecting pro. And no one escapes the Phoenix's clutches. I think it's time we got something straight. What's this, Strite? A new line of irrelevant questioning? These are the floor plans of the crime scene. You see, you were standing at the entrance, Mr. Tigre. From there, your field of vision would have covered an area something like... this.
Indeed. The witness would have got a clear view of the victim's seat. Isn't that what I just said? I saw the back of the kid's head.
Unfortunately for you, that is not possible. If the cart would think back, you'll remember that between each of the tables is a tall partition.
Why, that's true.
Now look at the plans again. The truth is painfully obvious. From the entrance, the field of vision of any customer walking in ends here. So, from the entrance of Trevian, you couldn't have seen the victim's seat. But you did see the victim that day, because you met with him.
Objection!
Wrong. Have you forgotten the old man's testimony yesterday? The victim was alone at his table. The defense just proved at that point to be moot. The victim, witnessed by Mr. Kudo, was not Glenelg, but a fake.
What?
In order to have Mr. Kudo falsely testify, the real killer posed as the victim just as he had just killed and acted out a charade. Charade.
That will do.
Liquid cheese.
Just not long enough without the obvious question being answered. Who exactly was this real killer who impersonated the victim? You say the killer murdered Glenelg, and then impersonated his victim in performance for Victor Kudo. In that case, Mr. Wright, reveal the identity of this criminal to the court.
Obviously, the killer is Furio Tigre. No one else could have done it.
What? Well, witness? Now that's cute. You think you can pin this on the tiger? Maybe you just don't understand. The tiger was a king of the jungle. So I dare you to say it again. Come on. You got the guts? You can't threaten me, Mr. Tigre. It's the defense. Go ahead and tell the witness, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright? It must be you, old man. You've got guts, I'll give you that. Mr. Wright, don't leave me to handle this alone.
Huh. Perhaps I can end this embarrassment.
Mr. Kudo?
Let's just go back over Mr. Kudo's testimony one more time. The old man didn't just see the victim. Oh, no.
Your bread and Javachino, but she put something in it. She very conspicuously put some white powder in there.
Was the victim he saw the real victim or not? That doesn't matter. The fact remains, he saw the accused put the poison into the coffee.
Yes, it was a way to
Very impressive, Mr. Kodo. Waiting for my absence to launch your attack. Found your pen at last, Wright? It was in my pocket. But anyway, Mr. Kudo witnessed two people that day. He saw the victim, the supposed Mr. Glenelg, and the waitress from behind. Yes, your point, Mr. Wright? I think the conclusion is obvious. If this Glenelg was really the killer in disguise, then surely it's possible that the waitress was also part of the show.
What? You mean the waitress was an imposter as well?
The defendant, Miss Bird, fell unconscious immediately after the incident, as someone used her fainting to hatch an elaborate plan to pin the murder on her.
Who on earth was it? Who was this waitress that Mr. Kudo witnessed? Who is this woman?
Her name is Viola Cadaverini. She's an employee of Tender Lender.
He was making the big mistake. Do you know who Violetta's grandfather is? You better be going home in an armored truck tonight if you know what I mean.
Stop shaking, Nick. Where was I? Yes, the defendant, Miss Bird, has stated the following. Well, when I took the coffee over to the victim's table, it's true there was another customer in the restaurant. She was sort of creepy. She had kind of a cackling laugh. There are just too many contradictions in this case. The second man at the victim's table, who nobody but Miss Bird seems to have seen. The earpiece worn by the victim in his left ear when the eardrum was ruptured. And the radio show he was supposedly listening to half an hour after it was over. There's only one logical explanation that clears up all these contradictions. The whole incident took place twice. Once for real and once for show. And Mr. Fierro Tigre, the only person who could have committed the crime, is you.
Witness? What have you got to say? That's cute. Sorry? He's alright. I could deal with a guy like you around.
What do you mean?
Okay, I'm in on this game. I'm gonna have to charter a jet to get me to my meeting now, but I'm gonna give you one more thing to think about before I go.
Something to think about?
He's got it all wrapped up nice, huh? Right? But he's missed out one real important thing.
But that can't be.
I was in the joint that day, and I met that kid, too. But I couldn't have poisoned him, you see, eh? What? You really expect us to believe you now, Mr. Tigre?
Huh. What a troublemaker. Troublemaker? Looks like we're going to need another one for the road. One more steaming hot cup of testimony.
Indeed. Witness, you will explain yourself to the court. I'll give you one more chance to testify. What happened that day at Trebian between yourself and the victim?
Ties to the victim.
Yeah, I loaned out cash, about $100,000. That day we was due to have a little chat. The kid had hit his paycheck date, see? Payback date. So anyway, he tells me he's not gonna pay up. He's got no way to pay up. I'm about to flatten the guy when he starts screaming. Yes, I won $500,000. He got lucky, you know. Real lucky. If that waitress hadn't done what she'd done, everything would have been over. Now, I see that the principal amount you owed Mr. Elg was $50,000. Yeah, well, he's got the VIG to take into account. Interest builds up fast, you know.
That's faster than fast. $100,000 is twice his principal.
Another payment deadline was December 3rd, the day of the incident in question. Yeah, he was one lucky kid. He got that $500,000 just in time. So I ain't have no reason to kill the kid. And if I ain't got no motive, you ain't got no case.
His motive? He has to have one, but what is it? Ah, I'm jumping! Save. Okay, so we know that he owed $1 million to the family, okay? Glenn had won $500,000, but then he also had the MC Bomber computer virus, which is worth millions. So I gotta try and figure out what the hell happened here. And how to prove it. I am jumping, but... Okay, I'm waiting for a sign from God. Please, Kia, be my sign from God. Yeah, why is he? The waitress. You mean...
The girl with the glasses in the defendant's chair. Who else could I mean? She had gotten in the way. Things would have been bada bing, bada boom, over and done with.
They should push a little on this. Yes. What did she do? What exactly are you implying the defendant did?
How about you go ask Four Eyes about the $500,000 ticket? She wanted it so bad. She poisoned Elk's coffee.
A likely theory. Your word hasn't held any water lately, Mr. Tigre.
Objection!
Let's not forget this witness was actually at the scene, Trilogy.
The law doesn't exactly agree with some of the deals I send down. I couldn't be there when the cops showed up, so I split. I see.
Your Honor. The witness's last few statements are worth a good 2 cups of coffee.
I concur, Mr. Godo. You will amend your testimony accordingly, witness. So that's what's used out to Phoenix, right?
My business with that kid was over. Try the bottom one. Suppress it again. Oh, I fixed it from the beginning. Seems that way to me. But you wouldn't normally expect to win a lottery, would you? Huh. The undying belief that your next roll ended the worst losing streak you ever had. That's what it defines a true gambler. It makes it sound so cool. Intimidating. Got the willpower for it. I got lucky in the end. I picked the wrong one. Yeah, that's what I gotta...
Talk about the cash. I'm trying to get my $100,000 back, that's all. I'm a businessman. It was all coming together before the waitress got in the way. As far as I can tell from the witness's testimony, other than recouping his loan, Mr. Tigre had no motive for killing the victim. Well, Mr. Wright, are you happy with the testimony or would you like it amended? Have it amended. I'm not going to get anywhere with the testimony as it stands. Your Honor, the defense would like the testimony amended. Very well. Witness, you will amend your testimony to reflect your recent statements, please.
No other reason to kill the guy. I'm saving, I'm going for it. I'm going for it. Yes! So you just intend to get back the $100,000 Mr. El Godu, correct?
I loaned the guy the cash, so that's my right.
Unfortunately, Mr. Elg, $100,000 wasn't enough to cover it, was it?
Huh.
About 6 months ago, you were involved in a traffic accident, weren't you? An accident involving a car and a scooter in which a young woman was injured. She was taken to the hospital where she underwent surgery.
Where did you get all this info?
These are medical papers. These medical papers document the treatment of the young woman in question. According to these, her operation cost $1 million. Payment for these expenses was due in December of last year, and was paid in full.
$1 million? A preposterous sum. Someone should sue these HMOs.
Huh. No one would pay a bill like that. If the medical association got wind of it, the hospital would end up as dead as a morgue. But Mr. Tigre had no choice but to pay, because his very life depended on it. I broke the guide!
Order! You say his life depended on it, Mr. Wright?
Indeed it did, simply because the injured woman was none other than Viola Cadaverini. Did you say Cadaverini? Bruno Cadaverini, mob boss in charge of all underworld activities in the city, and doting grandfather to his precious Violetta, also known as Viola Cadaverini. Your life was in danger unless you paid compensation to the boss, correct? It makes sense. You were desperate to acquire the $1 million Cadaverini demanded of you. Sorry, I just had to take this real quick. So desperate, in fact, you decided to sacrifice Glen Elg's life to pay your debt.
Order, order, order! What do you say to that, witness?
It's a nice little fairy tale, Trite. But even if the witness did need $1 million, that doesn't tie into Mr. Elg's murder. Mr. Elg only owed him $100,000 and had no hope of repaying it anyway.
Yeah, that guy wasn't worth my spit.
I don't think so. In fact, the opposite is true. The opposite? Lending money with no hope of ever seeing repayment would normally be bad for business. But in this case, the very fact that Glen Elg had no way to repay the money is crucial.
What?
Do you know where you're going with this, Nick? You gotta think outside the box, Maya. Outside the box? It's very straightforward. Mr. Tigger wasn't after the $100,000 at all.
It seems you have a logical conclusion for this theory, Mr. Wright. Would you care to share it with us? What exactly was Mr. Tigger after?
Glen Elg was a programmer, a highly skilled programmer. That skill was the collateral Mr. Elg put up in order to borrow the money. Care to explain how skill can be used as collateral to secure a loan, Trite? He had the skill to create a computer virus, and so he did. A virus known as MC Bomber. I said it right.
A computer virus? What does one of those do?
A computer virus is a program that wreaks havoc on the insides of a computer.
A computer? What does one of those do?
I guess the beard isn't the only part of his honor that's from the Stone Age. I got it. I'll explain it to you later, Your Honor. Right now, this is the important point. A virus like MC Bomber would be worth several $1 million on the black market. Mr. Tigre, you couldn't have cared less about the $100,000, isn't that right? All you cared about was one thing, the virus. On the day of the murder, Mr. Tigre's sole intention was to get his hands on this CD. Glen Elg had no way of paying back the $100,000, and Mr. Tigre knew it. But then a miracle happened. The kind that Mr. Tigre would prefer to say never happened, but he can't, and neither can I. The lottery win. Exactly. At the 11th hour, Mr. Elg won $500,000 on the lottery, which left Mr. Tigre with no way of getting his hands on the all-important CD. I was right! I was fucking right! He came for the CD, but he won the lottery at the last minute! Ah, I did it! I fucking did it! Ha ha ha! At least no legitimate way. It's fucking disguised, Dom! So resorted to illegitimate means. That's crazy. He murdered Glen Elg and made his next move. To frame Maggie Bird for the crime. Mr. Tigre posed as Glen Elg, while Viola Cadaverini played the role of Miss Bird. And then they reenacted the whole thing in order to establish a witness. The witness being the one we all heard testify yesterday, Mr. Victor Kudo. Objection! Like I said, Trite, that's crazy. No one could pull off a stunt like that. For starters, there's no way the chef would have been kept in the dark about it. Objection! But Mr. Armstrong was in on it from the very beginning. Have you forgotten already, Mr. Godot? Mr. Armstrong owed the witness money, too. $500,000, in fact. He had no choice but to go along with Mr. Tigre's plan.
Order, order! Silence or I will clear the courtroom! You just put on a good show, Spiky. If you just want to stay alive in the loan shark business, you gotta be careful. You say not dressed up like that kid, created a witness and framed someone? If I did something crazy like that, I'd leave a trail as bright as my shirt. I ain't dumb enough to do something sloppy like that.
I agree.
You do?
Despite your appearance, you are very careful. That's why you took one more precaution. One more trick to make sure Miss Bird had no way out.
What? Another one, Mr. Wright?
Interesting. Why did you fill us all in, Trite? What was this trick you said Mr. Tigre performed to frame the accused?
What on earth is that? What an insult to think anyone can be fooled by such a childish imitation.
Consider yourself insulted, Your Honor. Mr. Tigre, you didn't just pose as the victim on the day in question. A month ago, in this very court, you posed as me.
What? That's...
The truth.
But... the witness looks nothing like you, Mr. Wright! Although... now that I think about it, it was you, wasn't it? No doubt it was you, standing in here, this very court, a mere month ago. If any trying to put up the most disreputable, shabby defense I'd ever seen. Disreputable.
Can you prove that, Gramps? Prove the attorney who represented the accused here a month ago was this man? Are you prepared to take the stand and testify that it was him?
Hey, forget about it, yeah? I wouldn't do something like that, not me. You made a mistake, right? It was someone else, huh?
Have you no pride, sir? This isn't a matter of pride. In case you didn't know, Trite, here in court, we deal with people's lives.
Mr. Kodo was right.
Your Honor?
Speaking for myself, I am absolutely convinced. The attorney in question was the witness standing before me now. However, I preside over this court as the judge, with the vested power to hand down a verdict. Someone of my position cannot be swayed by a memory without evidence to support it.
No!
Ah! If the defense has no further evidence, the court will now excuse the witness. Mr. Wright and Mr. Tigre are dubious for sure, but not conclusive.
But we've come so far! You say he impersonated Glenelg, you say he impersonated you. But none of that adds up to a murder charge. You don't have a shred of evidence that the witness poisoned the victim's coffee.
Ah!
Little birthday boy.
He's back to, sucks to be you, right? Don't mess with the tiger, or you're gonna get mauled, you've got that?
All I managed to do here was chase him around a bit. But I was so close to getting him to admit his own guilt. Huh. Looks like I won't be needing a refill. If I just had one more piece of evidence. One more piece of evidence and maybe I could get Maggie off the hook. Here comes Gumshoe in the 11th hour.
Swear to cross-examination. You're free to go, Mr. Tigre.
Where's Gumshoe? There we are.
Your Honor, sir. Wait! Detective? Detective Gumshoe? Detective Gumshoe? Sorry it took so long, pal. I staked everything on this. My badge, the works. But here it is. My heart's counting on this too. What is it, Detective? It's an obvious, pal. It's the final decisive piece of evidence. What?
Oh my god.
Sorry it took so long, pal, but I finally got the results from the lab.
The results?
About the prince, pal. With his medicine bottle.
Oh, so do you know who the prince belonged to now?
Do you think I'm some kind of hack detective? Of course I know.
So, tell us.
They're the tigers, right? I knew it. You bet. Clear as crystal, all over the bottle. They're Furio Tigre's paw prints, all right.
That's great. We've got him now, Nick. What's wrong with you? You've hardly said a word since Detective Gumshoe got here. You said everything on the line for this, Nick. I know. Look, I'm sorry. This is kind of hard to say, but it really doesn't make any difference whose prints are on that bottle now.
Huh? What? Why not?
What we need to produce at this stage in the trial is irrefutable evidence that the tiger put poison in Glenelg's coffee. He's already admitted that he met with the victim. The fact that his prints are on his bottle, that really doesn't make any difference now.
I knew it. Great. No matter how hard I try, I'm never of any use.
Hey, don't be so hard on yourself.
This is our last chance to help Maggie. And I've been working on some useless piece of evidence the whole time. It's alright. I'm a real loser. It's not breaking news to me, pal.
Detective? Gumshoe? Maggie! You've been working on something for me?
Sorry I let you down, Maggie. I know you didn't do it. And I'm a detective. We're supposed to be able to prove stuff like that.
300 fans? Detective Gumshoe, wait! That's been my problem. I keep jumping ahead. He's gone. Is there anything we can do now, Nick?
I wish there was.
Gumshoe worked so hard to get that evidence. If only there was some way I could use it.
It's right. Yes, Your Honor. I granted you a recess so you could prepare this decisive evidence you discovered.
Yes. Don't keep us all in suspense, Wright. Show us. Naturally. I'm so scared! We can assume it's evidence that will actually stand up in court, can't we?
Think, Phoenix. Don't let Gumshoe's hard work go to waste. What you want my time is gonna waste? I ain't been to no court before. But these lawyers should know how to blow things out of proportion. Yeah, no doubt given the nature of the evidence, it will speak to it for itself. Nevertheless, you will talk to us through it, Mr. Wright.
Well, I know I can't prove anything new with this evidence. I'm really backed into a corner here, but maybe if he thinks he's got me beat, he'll let his guard down a bit.
Don't keep us waiting any longer, Mr. Wright. Present this final, decisive piece of evidence to the court.
I feel like this is important. Who is it drawn by? It's the bottle? Okay. It is. So go with, okay, we'll go with the bottle. This is the defense's final piece of evidence.
Isn't that?
Your Honor. Naturally, the court is already aware of the contents of this bottle. However, interesting new information has come to light. We've clearly identified some fingerprints on it. Fingerprints belonging to you, Mr. Tigre. It's not the weapon, though.
What?
Hey, Waldep, how you doing? Good morning. Good evening, I should say.
What, Mr. Wright? What conclusion are you hoping to draw from this new information?
Everyone here knows what this bottle contains. Except for one man. One person in this courtroom should theoretically be in the dark.
That printer on that pansy-looking bottle? Is that what you're saying? Well, when the hell's it in anyway?
A phony trial, a phony lawyer, and phony clues. Everything about this case has been phony. Seems like the perfect excuse for some phony evidence. Mr. Tigre, this is the decisive piece of evidence that will prove your guilt. Why? Because it contains... This bottle contains potassium cyanide.
Potassium cyanide?
The poison used to murder Mr. Elg, Your Honor. The victim's killer used this very bottle. And on this bottle, Mr. Tigre, we found your fingerprints. Well, how do you explain that?
It's not mine, it's different! Yeah. You'd make a good clown, you know that.
What?
You ain't never gonna get this to stick. You're just making me laugh now. You think a cheap bluff like that's gonna fool the tiger?
A bluff?
I see straight through your Phoenix, right? That ain't the bottle with the cyanide in it.
No. This is the bottle we found traces of the poison in.
Don't mess with the tiger, you're gonna get ripped to shreds. Cyanide bottle was brown, and it was made of glass. That cheap piece of trash don't look nothing like it.
Ha! I did it.
Got him, at last. What? Why's everyone gone quiet? I said that bottle!
Is this the bottle you're referring to?
Yeah, that's it. That's the bottle the cyanide was in. But yous ain't gonna find my prints on that bottle. Don't let that cozy-looking suit fool you people. That lawyer's just playing games.
Tell him, Mr. Prosecutor. Tell that guy where to go.
Tell that guy where to go.
You still haven't figured it out. Don't you realize what you just said?
What I said? What did I just say?
You were summoned to this court for the first time earlier today. If you really had nothing to do with the murder, you shouldn't have known all the little details. For instance, you shouldn't have known what kind of bottle the potassium cyanide was in. But just now, you slipped up in front of every single person in this courtroom. You described the exact bottle used by the killer to hold the poison.
You just don't know who you're messing with. I'm the Tiger. I control millions of dollars on the black market. You think I'm gonna let some jumped-up suit get the better of me?
Sure. The last piece of evidence was phony. But that's just what you deserve. The phony trial with the phony lawyer. It was all played out by you, the biggest phony of all.
Holy shit! We got him! We got him!
Lowercase a. He's gone full Oni. What?
What's going on?
Looks like a blackout. Well done, Wright. He's gone. I saved my 17th cup of coffee just for you. Savor it. Oh, he's there. While you watch the police restrain your prey. The fuck is that? Thank you, Walt.
Mr. Wright, you've caught a tiger by his toe. But if this one hollers, he won't be let go. Now then, how are things going with Mr. Tigre, Mr. Godot?
He's being arrested on suspicion of the murder of Glen Elg, Your Honor. Fortunately for us,
we managed to rectify a very grave error. Kia, have fun fucking up. Miss Bird was found guilty in the absence of a genuine defense attorney.
yes, she was. And in the absence of genuine evidence. But the tiger made one mistake.
Indeed. He very nearly got away with everything if it wasn't for that one slip of the tongue. Frior Tigre is a truly frightening criminal.
Huh. The truly frightening one is that defense attorney over there. Go down.
Well, I'm now in a position to deliver my verdict. This court finds the defendant, Maggie Bird, not guilty. Oh, thank God. That is all. This court is adjourned.
Mr. Wright, I'm at a loss for words. Thank you, sir. Congratulations, Maggie. I was so mad when Mr. Wright landed me in all that trouble a month ago. But now I feel like I can forgive him.
Hey, that wasn't me, Maggie. That was the tiger.
Look, Nick, in the doorway.
Oh, I guess I'll be heading off then. See you around, pal.
Wait!
Detective Gumshoe?
Oh yeah. Congratulations, Maggie.
Thanks.
I knew you were innocent all along.
Why didn't you say that in your testimony then?
Huh? Oh, well, I was, well, guess I'll be heading off then. See you around.
Wait up, detective. He just ran off.
Maggie, why are you being so hard on him? He busted his butt for you. It's thanks to him that we got the medication bottle. That wasn't even of any use. But it's only because Mr. Wright used it so cleverly. Detective Gumshoe was just running around in circles.
Poor guy. Looks like she still isn't ready to forgive him.
Can't you put it in a good word for him, Nick?
Yeah, Maya's right. I should help Gumshoe out. It's clear he needs it. Maggie? You know, Detective Gumshoe's been really worried about you through all of this.
I wanted to believe that, sir. But on that first day of the trial, he practically gave the judge a free pass to lock me up.
He didn't have any choice, Maggie. He's a detective. He has to report the facts.
He doubted me, that's why. He thought I might have done it.
I've got to prove to her that Gumshoe really cares about her. I know. I'll give her a little present to celebrate her freedom. This old bento box. Here you are. A present to celebrate your freedom.
That's...
A present from Detective Gumshoe, made with a ton of love.
He said you lost weight and he's worried about you.
Thank you, Steele.
Detective Gumshoe. I actually really like weenies. You know.
I bet you do.
Did you guys hear that? I'm pretty hungry myself, you know.
Yeah, the trial dragged on a bit today, didn't it?
Is it okay if I eat this now?
I feel like they put a fork in there when it was originally probably with chopsticks in like the Japanese version. I feel that it was localized for us.
So how is it, Maggie? It's really good.
Aww. So the case of the phony versus genuine comes to an end. The false allegations surrounding Maggie have all been cleared up. And who knows? Maybe a whole new chapter of her life is about to start. Upon being accused of murder together, retro. Oh my god, we did it. Episode 3, Recipe for Turnabout, the end.